Hi everyone, my name's Carl, aka El Camino Carl 55, aka Constellation Carl, aka Carl. I just want to welcome you guys to my channel. I know that we're kind of in a weird room right here, but this is where I'm going to be going over my strange collecting hobbies, my vacuum cleaner collection, my business, as well as just kind of jamming out to my records and my record collection, my audiophile obsession, if you will. For those that don't know me yet, my name's Carl. I've been collecting vacuum cleaners for the better part of 20 years, and it has been a blast over these past few years. I realize not a lot of people collect that. There is a pretty distinct community that I am a part of that do collect them. So, of course, you'll probably see some of those guests come on the channel soon. Now, real quick, I did want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on who I am and what I do. So right now, I work an office job just like a lot of people out there watching. On top of that, I own my own vacuum cleaner sales and service business, in addition to being a vacuum cleaner collector. I started collecting when I was a little kid, got into the whole hobby pretty much because of this guy right here, not Kirby the lovable pink, Nintendo character, but Kirby the vacuum cleaner from the Brave Little Toaster. Kirby the vacuum cleaner, for those that don't know, was a talking vacuum cleaner. It was a Kirby. Now, that movie had a huge impact on me. Fun fact, that was voiced by Earl Ravenscroft, same guy that did the voice of Tony the Tiger, as well as the person that sang You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. I know I'm a little late on a Christmas fact, but here you go. Anywho, that's how I kind of got into it. In addition to that, I did kind of start becoming more diverse in my collecting hobbies. Started with Kirby's, and that was pretty much it for the better part of about 5 to 7 years. Thankfully, I had a family that was really supportive of it. Managed to get my very first vacuum cleaners, which were Kirby's, of course, from eBay and things like that. I also used to go to thrift stores with my dad, as well as my brother and good friends of mine. So that's kind of how my collecting started. Of course, I started, looking at different things. I got into cars, I got into, vintage tractors and stuff like that, which when you absorb information or just the sight of those types of things, well, you start noticing different things about the things you already collect. So that's how I got into Eurekas, that's how I got into Hoovers, and so forth and so then. Now, currently in my collection, I have about 500 to 600 machines. About half of them are here in the state of Washington, where I live. The rest of them are sitting in a storage unit in Kansas, and we'll go over more of that as the time grows on, because I am in the process of bringing all that back. Spoiler alert a little bit. That collection in Kansas was the collection of one of my dear friends, Jason Huber, aka J Divine, aka the Eureka Empress, aka Hoover 700. There's a few different names that he went by. But me and him were friends for the better part of 10 years. And when he passed away, we had a conversation long before that, that if anything were to happen to us, that we would help each other out with our collections if something were to happen. So a video is going to come with that. Looks like it probably at around June time frame. I'm going to be shooting over to Kansas with somebody. I'm not sure who's it going to be quite yet, but we're going to go down and get my collection out of that unit. Also, I also have a lot of people to thank when it comes to my collecting hobbies. Certain local collectors I've had a good relationship with. Mitchell Armstrong, who's also a YouTuber on here, as well as a Jared Martinson, Nick Bottomer, the list goes on and on. So we will probably get them on the channel at some point. But without further ado, I'm going to take you down into my collection room. We're going to do a little bit of filming down there. I'm going to just kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be seeing here on the channel. I know in here is probably where I'm going to be doing a lot of my videos, just because this is kind of my safe haven in addition to my collection room. So behind us already, I've got some machines that we are going to be doing videos on. It's just a matter of time, and I am a very busy person, so I will try to generate a lot of time for it. But anyways, so we're going to transition down into the basement area of my house to go down and see the fanciful Constellation Carl vacuum cleaner collection. It's a little packed, but that's just because the room's a little small. But either way, we're just going to pause here, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, thanks for coming downstairs with me into the old collection room here. I know we're just going to do a little bit of an abridged tour real quick, just to kind of give you a taste for what to see on the channel. Of course, this is my vacuum room. It's a little small. I've had several different vacuum rooms over the past, one being in my grandmother's house, then moved to a storage unit, and then moved into an apartment with me and my now wife, and then into our first house, and now into this rental right now. Now, of course, there's going to be other videos on me making another one, because we plan on buying a house by the end of this year. Should all go to plan. So, but anyways, this is my room. As you can see, kind of right here, we've got some of the more delectable, maybe the wrong word, but very rare uprights from the 30s. Kenmore right there, as well as a Kenmore Deluxe Automatic. We have a Firestone upright, some Singer vacuum cleaners near the bottom, some canisters kind of on that shelf as well. And of course, behind me on the other side, we have a few of my rare Eureka uprights, as well as some of my Hoover Celebrities. And here we'll just kind of creep you guys over here. And we're going to look at kind of, this is the 60 series of Hoover, as well as some of the 20 series. I'm going to be doing a history video on those as well. And then some of my Hoover Constellations, the Hovercraft vacuums, as well as some other rare Hoover uprights from the 60s, or 50s, 60s, 70s. And then in addition, kind of the closet enclave, if you will, is where I keep my 30s and older Hoover, as well as kind of some oddball uprights, as well as some of my more rare earlier tank canister vacuums. We're going to be doing, of course, like I said, more videos on all of that, more in depth, of course, more to come. And we're going to just turn you right around to this side of the vacuum room. Of course, we have, for those that know vacuum cleaners, we have a Lewitt wall of the Lewitt big wheels, including a couple of the Lewitt electronics, some of the early canisters to feature a motor-driven power nozzle, as well as my Kirby shelf over there. And if you guys recall, I know it's a little bit hard, but we'll get some better shots of that at when I do more Kirby stuff. But up near the top there, not there, there. So that is actually Kirby the vacuum cleaner. So as I was saying, and the gentleman vacuum on my shirt, this is Kirby, that is also Kirby. So one thing that I did when I first started collecting was I wanted to find a way to get some of the pieces of my collection that have meant the most. So going back to my roots with the Kirby vacuum cleaners, so one thing that I did find was animation cells. And early days of children animation, Disney was using, and that was a Disney movie, Disney was using animation cells where they would, print the picture
hand color, hand draw, all of that. And then that would be one sheet. Think of kind of like a flip book, if you will, of the character as well as their facial features, and they made hundreds of thousands of those for the Brave Little Toaster movies. There was 3 of those, by the way. Now that is one of them, as well as there's another couple up on the wall there. We'll again do a more in-depth video on Kirby, and all that it entails, as well as a lot of the artwork in the room. As you probably saw from when we were kind of going around, I like my advertisements. I like to know kind of where these vacuum cleaners came from. I like to know the history of it all. And part of that, and a big part of our history on these items, is going back and finding those all very hard to find advertisements sometimes. So a lot of things you could only find history for in catalogs or just newspaper ads, and sometimes those aren't the easiest to find. So me and a lot of other people have spent a lot of time dating a lot of this stuff to the point where we can trace things down within the year, the month, the day. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to get into, a lot more in-depth videos. Of course, I'm going to also be doing some videos where I'm just talking to you guys. Probably won't be the most popular videos sometimes. Just kind of going on a rant. I promise we're going to do a lot of vacuum stuff too. We're going to do some tours. I have a video that I'm going to be putting together as kind of a homage or tribute to my late friend Jason Huber. And there's a tour that I have filmed from when I went to his house after his passing back in 2021. In addition to that, I'm going to do some thrift store videos and going to kind of check it out, see what's there, do some educational stuff as well in case you start getting into this too, what to look for, what to leave there, and what to just throw away, because there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown away. I'm also going to do some fixing videos, some detailing videos, some painting videos, kind of cataloging all of my restorations. As the time goes, I'm also going to be doing a big cataloging project with my entire collection, where I'm going to be going into my storage bins, because believe it or not, this is not all I have here in the state of Washington. I have about 20 bins in my garage that each have about 5 machines each, as well as a bunch of other machines that just don't fit in this room. And we're, of course, going to be talking about those. We're going to go out into my shop. It's kind of a mess at the moment, but hey, we're new to this, all right? Just bear with me. We'll get through this. This is a building time period. You know, this is a development year, or whatever. You know, whatever they say. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're going to be doing more. I'm hoping to get another video going next week. Still figuring out with the whole editing software and all the digital deckies, editing, meshing. Heck, this video is going to take me a while to figure out either way. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.